Welcome back with the daily sketch sculpting with the Dungeon Master. Uh, just going to take this base set and improve on it a tiny bit. W on the keyboard. And just turn on my key visualizer for y'all. Okay, there we go. So yeah, W down over here is a wireframe on and off. Just hover over the top of these. This is the most awesome, simple interface. Love it. So yeah, G grab. Remember, if it's on a second time, it'd be on global, so it'll move the whole thing. So second time, there we go. And then I just want to push in this little lump in the middle here a little bit, like so, bracket key. And then I did want to push in the temple region here, even a little bit more. Keep the arc flow going the right direction. And this uplighting, choosing this, I chose this standard material here. So gets a little underlight. You could really see the form well right in here. You could kind of see where the arc's coming from, coming and going. And I keep pushing in this region a little bit more. There we go. And then maybe that chin is a little out of control for a basic chin, so I just want to maybe bring it in as a starting point. Otherwise, it'll kind of all my starting characters will have a ridiculous sized chin. I want to get the mandible curve going back in a little bit more, and then maybe bring out some of the fullness in the cheek a little bit. And I suggest everybody tries this out on your base mesh. Just try and there we go. Try and improve on it just a tiny bit each time. Maybe not every time before you start, but whatever makes sense to you. There we go. And I was going to make a more feminine form today too. So remember, if it's overly detailed, you have some reduced stuff in there. But okay, so I'm going to save that out. So I'm just going to go over here and we'll go save. And that's my base head Eggy 01. So that's going to now be 02. There we go. And I'll try and we'll work on a little bit more a feminine form here today. So again, make sure the detail's not too high. If you have it cranked way up when you do a stroke, it's going to do a ridiculous amount of detail. And then your triangles are going to go through the roof. I'm already at 15,000. And do that, I was at 11,000. So just make sure your detail's not any higher than you really need it to be. And then we'll go in here and start just filling in a bit of the fleshy region up above the eye. Maybe curve the eye out a little bit more out here to the side. Shift to smooth. There we go. And use E so I can carve back in a little bit more space right here. Shift to smooth and turn off the wireframe. There we go. So now I can see more. I can also go with the regular draw brush and just go Alt. Push that in a little bit more. And looking for some of the planes, shift to smooth it right in here. Flatten brush will help right here. There's an angle fall off is F, so I want to maybe flatten some of this area right here underneath the cheek. There we go. Go a little bit faster. E, maybe bring in the side of that nose. Maybe it's easier done with the grab brush. So grab, kind of narrow this nose. And just remembering to use the grab brush more is really, I think, useful. So, and then I think after I get something here, a little pointy, but um, just getting it as neutral. So I kind of just smooth everything out a lot. This lip, we talked about the arc flowing in the right direction. The arc should be flowing forward, right, coming out, and then going back into the chin. Same thing down here in the lower part of the lip. Maybe turn back on again. I could also play with the inflate brush, blow up lips, right? There we go. And you see it's a little lumpy, just smooth it back out again, smooth it back out again. There we go. And then, some feminine forms have that larger jaw and cheek area, but for a neutral in the middle of the road piece, I think we'll Try and find a happy medium here from underneath. Go. Shift, smooth it back out. And then kind of the cheeks out here, got a little lumpy there, smooth it out. And back to my regular draw brush. Bring the lower eyelid. So it kind of sits inside the eye socket, right? And I like to leave the clay if I hit the draw button twice. And if I get the lines on there, it's okay. There's a little bit of directionality. And bringing this around in here. I think the front of the cheekbone was left. You see it's like lumpy. I just smooth it out after. So a few strokes to get what you need, and then shift smooth. Just a constant reminder to everybody, including myself. There we go. Smooth it out. And I think that's looking better. As a more feminine form, I can smooth this out up top as well. And fill in the fleshy region around the eyeball itself, above, going into the eye socket. Maybe smooth out some of that temple region. As you come around the side here, go into the nostril region right here. Now I can go in with the smaller, and the tighter you're zoomed in, the more detail it's going to add as well. So it does matter, which is really cool. I wish they had kept this simplistic, beautiful approach in ZBrush, but we'll see how well Maxon integrates the tools and makes them a little bit easier to use. Let's see. Flip underneath here we go, and then I can go back to my draw brush and I can bring out the outer part right here. The strength's right there. I can also hit the space bar, so I can lower the strength down using the space bar, which I haven't really used much yet. Honestly forgot to show you guys use it. There we go. And then let's see, there we go. I'm bringing these arcs. So I'm just kind of rounding everything out a little bit more. And in the middle of that lip right here, smoothing it. And the fullness there. And then underneath the lips here, can kind of down here, it kind of fills it in down here, shift to smooth. And let's go back to the crease brush again. I go back in here and really try and leave it there. Back it off a little bit. Oh, that's weird. It disappeared. Try it again. There we go. And shift to smooth it out. And then bringing up the ridge up here in the upper lip, I'll go Alt. It'll zoom back a little. And oh, it disappeared again. That's really strange. Like I'm hitting some key that's making it disappear. I'm not sure what it's causing. The ridge right there. Use the draw brush. Maybe fill in. Maybe use some directionality for the creases and the wrinkles in the lip. Smooth a little bit. There we go. Try one more time. See if it doesn't delete my crease here. And then maybe Alt, bring it out here, lower part, and bring some, using the crease tool to, I think when I zoomed in and out, it was getting rid of detail. That was strange. There we go, some of the lines there. So you can crease some lines in and then Alt to bring, mostly when you're doing this part, you'll want to bring out, I think, a lot of the, yeah, the strength's up all the way too. So you tone that down. And then shift, smooth it out a little bit. And up here above the lip, I think that's where I was working my way towards. We get the little fleshy region out here. So fill this in. And some roundness, maybe push in the middle here. using Alt with the regular dry brush, kind of push in a little. Oh, that's a little too much, and smooth it out. There we go. So something a little bit more recognizable. Zoom in here before I finish up, and we'll just barely start to crease in. I'm just going to add the upper eyelid as a, and how it goes kind of back into the eye socket and then comes back forward again right here. I think that's a useful where the tear duct is. And making sure it's not just a straight line, but if you can, pick some curves, maybe, there we go, go underneath it, push in, and push in above it as well, maybe just a little bit up here, and a tiny bit more detail at the upper brow. Because you want that to all be soft. We don't want it to be too triangulated. The eyes are the most important part, of course, in general. And so, bigger, grab, and push in even a little bit more around as it goes back. And smooth it out. Okay, we'll play with that some more. I think for now, turn off W, see how, let's see how jagged it is in here. Yeah. So I'll go to the shift tool, just really lightly. There we go. Melt that out. And I come back and do the nostrils. Right, there you go. Yeah, and I think maybe we'll add the ear. The cheeks, I haven't really finessed any of this out here, so I'll just kind of quickly smooth it all out. And it's a bit of a cheat, right? And digital, just, yeah, you got a bunch of crazy brush strokes going on, just hold down shift and smooth it on out. All right, so there's a quick sculpt for a more feminine base head. And I'm going to save this one out here. So we'll save this as the base head Eggy02 and call this one underscore feminine. Oops. Oh, I had caps lock on. I wonder if that was doing anything. And then make sure we don't double save the extension. So I'll remove that. Save that one. And yeah, we'll post that one, call it done. I'm going to come back and do the ear. And we'll turn this into a couple different faces. All right. See you in the next one.